All right, so again, going over our answers for yesterday's review. Again, 1 and 18 on both sides. I should have told you to skip. For the first page here, we had answers. Again, I'm going to read through these answers, and then I do want to try and do all of them that, again, you need to know how to do. So on number 2, correct answer was F, 3 was B, 4 was G, 5 was D. So starting off with number 2, identify the solid figure. We had, first off, the base there is a square, and the overall shape is a pyramid. It has one base, and it comes to a vertex at the top. So this would be a square pyramid. So our correct answer, again, was F. Now, let's see. So again, square pyramid. On number 3, name the base. So on here, we had the base that was A, B, C, D. So it was a square. So our correct answer was B, which was the only one that gave us any type of quadrilateral. But again, for a pyramid, all the sides have to be triangles. The base can be any other polygon. On number 4, the shape of a vertical cross-section of a cone is a, most of the time there, we're going to have ourselves a triangle. So if you have a cone and you had a vertical cross section right through the middle of it, we're just going to see that outline of a triangle. Again, when we're talking about cross section, it's a 2-dimensional shape that is made when a 3-dimensional image is cut by a plane. On number 5, find the surface area of a cube. So we're given 3 sides of a cube. Again, it's going to be very helpful to have your reference sheet on the test. I will let you use your reference sheet for it as well. It is going to be all multiple choice. But on this one, find the surface area. Well, we have a 3 by 3 by 3 cube. Our surface area formula is our lateral area plus 2 times the base area. So there's 2 things we have to find before we can plug into that formula. Our base area on this one, well, we have ourselves a square on the bottom, which is a 3 by 3 square. So 3 times 3 for our base area gives us 9. For our lateral area is found by doing perimeter of the base times the height. Perimeter of this base, well, 3, 3, 3, and 3 gives us a total of 12. The height is 3. So it's 12 times 3, which is 36. So we have our lateral area of 36. We have our base area of 9. 2 times the base area. So 2 times 9 is 18. 18 plus 36 is 54. And again, our answer there was D, 54. Again, sometimes there are other ways to solve for it. The way I did was just using our equations. All right. On 6 through 11, this set, again, reading off correct answers first. 6 was H, 7 was A, 8 was F, 9 was B, 10 was H, 11 was B. So going through these, you have, the first one says, find the lateral area round to the nearest 10th. So now we're looking at lateral area of a cylinder. For a cylinder, lateral area, it's still essentially perimeter times height like it was with the last one, but instead of doing perimeter, we actually use circumference because our base is a circle. So circumference formula is 2 pi r. So we're going to plug that in. So lateral area equals 2 pi r times h. We have a radius, we have a height. Plug in those 2 values. So our lateral area here will be 2 pi 2 times 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. That is 16 pi. Now, if we look at our answer choices, they're all in decimals. And it said round to the nearest 10th. So 16 pi would be a good answer if it said leave in terms of pi. But since it says round our answer, we're going to have to multiply pi out. And then we should get h, which is 50.3. And again, anytime we have area, it should be in units squared. When we talk about volume later, it should be in units cubed. On number 7, find surface area round to nearest 10th. Well, we already found the lateral area. We're going to have to include that in our surface area. But for surface area, we have to also include the bases. Because again, surface area is our lateral area plus 2 times the base area. On this one, our base is a circle. So we have our base for this one will be found by doing pi r squared. That's our equation for area of a circle. Plugging in the radius there of 2, we have pi 2 squared. That's going to give me 4 pi for my base. Now, I do prefer doing this in terms of pi first. So for my surface area, going back to what we had on the last one, I had 16 pi before I multiplied it out. So I'm going to have 16 pi plus 2 times the base area. The base area was 4 pi, so 2 times 4 pi. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 16 is 24 pi. Again, that's in terms of pi. Then we had to change it so that it was rounded. So multiply out that 3.14 using that pi button on a calculator. We should get roughly 75.4, which is option A. All right, down to number 8. Find the lateral area. We have a pyramid. On this one, the lateral area is found by doing 1/2 PL. Oops. 1/2 PL. What's the L stand for? Anybody? What's the L standing for? L is, I'll tell you it says 9 in here. What is that piece? What's L stand for? Our slant height. Slant height. All right, so that's our slant height. So 9 is going to go in for L. The perimeter of the base, we're going to have to find here. We have 6 by 6. That's a square on the bottom. So for the perimeter, 6 times 4 is 24. So now we can plug that in. For our lateral area, we have 1/2 the perimeter, which was 24, times the slant height, which was 9. 1/2 of 24 is 12. 12 times 9. 109. Oh, no, 108. 108. Yep. And that is choice F. Then we go on to number 9. Find the surface area. So we have already found the lateral area. We still need the area of the base before we can do surface area. So surface area, just to remind us, is for a pyramid, lateral area plus base area. We only have one base. We don't have to multiply it by 2 for that one. So for our lateral area here, we found that the base area, it was a 6 by 6 square. So base area will be 6 times 6, which is 36. We got that piece. Now all we have to do is add them together. So for our surface area, all we're doing is 108 plus 36, which equals 1. Number 10, find the surface area to the nearest 10th. So this one, kind of challenging. We have 2 shapes together. All right. So we need to look at all that outside space. Well, we have a cone and we have a cylinder. Now, we have both the lateral area of the cone, the lateral area of the cylinder, and we have this one circle. So we're kind of combining a couple of formulas. First, we definitely do need the area of the base. So I'm going to first do B equals pi r squared. So pi r on this one would be 3, because it shows us this whole thing across is 6. So this piece is 3. So let me change my colors because I don't want these to blend all together. Let's do blue. All right. So again, this piece here is 3. So we're doing pi 3 squared. 3 squared is 9. So that's 9 pi. I'm going to leave it in terms of pi for right now. Let's go ahead and do the cylinder next. So we need the lateral area of the cylinder. The lateral area for the cylinder is perimeter times height, or for this one, we can change out P for C, which is our circumference. So that's going to be pi, not pi r squared. I lied. 2 pi r. 2 pi. The radius again was 3. The height is 50 for the cylinder. So multiply that all out. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 times 50, that's going to be what, 150? No, 300. 300 pi. That's our lateral area for the cylinder. For the cone, our equation for lateral area will be 1/2 perimeter times slant height, or in this case, since it's a circle, it'd be the equation of our circle, which is 2 pi r. There's a simplified form that we could also use. The simplified form, if you go back to your reference sheet, is just pi rl. That works as well. So either one of those, pi rl. So then the two things we need is the radius, which we have, 3. The slant height they gave us is 5. Multiply it out. 3 times 5 is 15. So we get 15 pi. Now we have 3 values, 9, 300, and 15. They're all in terms of pi. Add them all up. So 300 pi, 15 pi, 9 pi. Add them all up. We get 324 pi. Our answers, are they in terms of pi? Nope. They are all have decimals. So we have to multiply out the pi, and we get, oops. Calculator does not want to cooperate. 1017.87. So that rounds off to H. And that's our answer. All right, on the next one, we have the radius of a cone is 17 inches long. So they didn't actually give us the diagram this time. We're gonna have to draw it. Find the surface area to the nearest 10th. Well, they gave us a radius, they gave us a slant height. All they want is a surface area. When we're doing this formula, we can do it a couple different ways, but it's lateral area, which for a cone is pi RL, plus base area, which for a cone is the equation of a circle, pi r squared. My computer's lagging a bunch here. So we have these two formulas that we have to add together. Well, in order to do this, we need two things. We need a radius, which goes into this formula twice, and we need a slant height. They already gave us both. So we already know what a radius is. We already know what our slant height is. We can just plug into this equation. We have pi. The radius again was 17. Oops, I just wrote 12. All right, so 17 times the slant height, which is 20, plus pi r squared, so 17 squared. 17 times 20 is going to be 340 pi, plus we have 17 squared, which is 289 pi. And if we add those two together, 340 and 289 gives us 629. And this is in terms of pi. All of our answers are rounded, so we do need to multiply it out by pi, which gives us 1,976.1, which is option B. All right. Moving on. So, yes. Number 12, we have G, D, H, D, F, and B as our answers for 12 through 17. Again, that's G, D, H, D, F, and B. Now, on these. So first one says area of the base of a prism is 94 square centimeters and the height is 9 centimeters. Find the volume of the prism. All we have to do is multiply. They already gave us the area of the base. They already gave us the height. Those are the only two things required when doing volume of a prism. Volume equals base area times height. So we're doing base area of 96 times the height of 9. And 96 times 9 gives us 864, which is option G. Number 13, volume of a cylinder. So they're giving us the volume and the radius is 2 meters. Find the height of the cylinder round to the nearest meter. So they want us to find the height. First thing we're going to have to do is find the base area. So base area, given our radius, pi 2 squared, that's going to be 4 pi. Or if we multiply it out, 4 times pi is 12.57. There's more decimals, so again, you might want to keep it on your calculator. The volume equation for a cylinder, same thing as it was for our prism. Volume equals base area times height. We know our volume is 62.8. We know the base area is 12.57. They want the height, so we just have to divide off the 12.57. If we do that, 62.8 divided by that, it is 4.997, which that will round to 5, which is D. Now, remember, if you're doing multiple choice like these, there is more than one way that you could do this. Once you found the base area, if you wanted to take the base area and multiply it by any of the answers, that would give you your volume, and you'd have to match that to the original volume. So that could also work. All right, let's go to 14. On 14, a pyramid has a height of 10 inches and a base with an area of 21 square inches. Find the volume of the pyramid. Again, they pretty much gave us everything we need. Our volume formula for a pyramid is 1/3 base area times height. So we have the base area given to us. It said it was 21. The height, they said, was 10. So now it's just multiplying it out. 1/3 of 21 is 7. 7 times 10 is 70, which is option H. On 15, find the volume of the oblique cone. And it doesn't matter that it's oblique because we had Cavalier's principle said that, again, it doesn't matter if it's going to be a right prism or an oblique prism, a right cone or oblique cone. As long as every cross section going from the base to the top is the same, it's going to be the same volume. So on here, thank you. On here, we have a 6 for our height, a 10 for this slant height over here. Now, we need a radius. They don't give us the radius. But these 3 dimensions are diameter, this 10 and a 6. They do make a right triangle. Now, it is a special type of right triangle. What's my missing side? This entire length on this side is what? 6 blank 10. Should be 8 because that is our 3, 4, 5, just doubled. So we have a 6, 8, 10. So this whole thing is 8. That means my radius is going to be 4. So volume of an oblique cone, we have volume equals 1/3 base area, which is pi r squared, times height. All we need is a radius and a height. We now have both. The radius is 4. The height is 6. So 1/3 pi 4 squared times 6. 4 squared is going to be 16. If I do the 1/3 of the 6, that's 2. So 16 times 2 is 32. So we get 32 pi. We can multiply that out. 32 times pi is 100.5, which is D. On 16, the diameter of a sphere is 42 centimeters. Find the surface area to the nearest tenth. So for a sphere, surface area formula, surface area equals 4/3 pi r. Oh, no, sorry, starting with volume. Surface area is not 4/3, it's just 4. Again. Surface area. Seniors. All right, if you're a senior, you can go ahead and go to the auditorium. All right, it's time for you to go to the auditorium. Again, my seniors. All right. I'm going to continue on. I will post everything on Canvas. All right. So if you need the rest of it, again, I'll post all answers up there on Canvas. All right. Surface area again is 4 pi r squared. Plug in the radius. Well, they gave me diameter. The radius is now 21. So 4 pi 21 squared. 21 squared is 441. 441 times 4 is 1764. That times pi is 5,541.8, which is choice F. Number 17, a sphere has a volume of 36 pi cubic meters. Find the radius of the sphere. So if we know the volume, yeah, we're still plugging it into our volume formula, which is 4/3 pi r cubed. We know that this is 36 pi. So first thing, you can get rid of the pi from both sides. Divide off pi, cancel out. Then we need to get rid of the 4/3. How do we get rid of that? We multiply by its reciprocal. So we multiply by 3/4. And we multiply that by 3/4. 36 times 3, 108, divided by 4 is 27. So we get 27 equals r to the third. How do we get the radius? I haven't had to do much of this year, but you want to get rid of a cube? You can take a cube root. Or ask yourself the question, what times itself 3 times gives you r? So on here, 3 to the third power gives us 27. So 3 is our answer. Again, you can type that into your calculator as well. That's it. All right. Next. All right, 18 was one of the ones I said that you're going to be able to skip. 19, which of the following describes the two spheres? So all spheres are similar. Now, if you also had the same radius, you could also call them congruent. On here, we don't have the same radius, so they must be similar at least. Again, all spheres are similar and all regular polyhedrons are similar. On number 20, the ratio of the side lengths of 2 cubes is 3:7. Find the ratio of their volumes. Well, what do we have to do to the original scale factor? We have to cube it. So we had 3/7. We are cubing both those values. If we do 3 cubed, that's 27. 7 cubed, that's 343. Our answer is J. The other one on the bottom, it said, find the amount of glass needed to cover the sides of the greenhouse shown. The bottom, front, and back are not glass. So the only things that are glass here are the rectangles. All right. Based on what they said, only the rectangles. So we have the side here that's 30 by 9. We have another side that's 30 by 9. And we have 2 top panels that are 30 by 8. So we can find the area of each one of those. So 30 by 9 just multiplying them, is going to give us 270. If I did the 30 by 8, that's going to be 240. So I have 2 that are 270. I have 2 that are 240. Add all those up. So 270, 270, 240, and 240. 70 plus 270 plus 240 plus 240, which gives us a total of 1020. So 1,020 feet. Oh, and there is an error there. I put cube, that was supposed to say squared. Feet squared, not cubed. All right, let's go on. So now, on this one, again, 1 in 18, again, were the two that you could skip. We're on the back. Just to hit on number 1 real quick. So given the corner view of a figure, sketch the front view. So just what would that look like if we were to sketch it from the front? And that's, yeah, it's confusing, but that's what it would look like. It's as if you were looking at it from this direction. But anyway, that's what it would have looked like. Number 2, name the faces of the solid. Well, so it said name them. So it actually wants us to name them using all the letters that are there. So the bottom is the square or rectangle PQRS. Then you have 4 triangles, triangle PQT, triangle QTR, triangle RTS, and triangle PTS. Number 3, sketch the shape of a horizontal cross-section of the solid. Again, if it's a prism or a cylinder, then you're going to have a horizontal cross-section that's congruent to the base. If you have a pyramid or a cone and you do a horizontal cross-section, it'll also be the same shape as the base. It's just going to be smaller. So on this one, we end up with a hexagon, same shape as the base. Number 4, find the lateral area of a triangular prism with a height of 8 centimeters and with a base having sides that measure 4 centimeters, 5 centimeters, and 6 centimeters. On this one, I think there's not enough information, actually. I think I know what they did, but they did it wrong. Hold on. Let me just double check it. Oh, no, they just asked for lateral area. They didn't ask for surface area. We can do that. So lateral area is perimeter of the base times the height. They don't give you enough information to find the base area, but we don't need base area for lateral area. We only need that for surface area. So perimeter of the base, they gave us the 3 parts of the base, 5, 4, and 6. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. So the perimeter of the base is 15. The height is 8. So 15 times 8 is 120. And that's what they got. All right, we're good. Number 5, find the surface area of the solid. So on the last one that we had a cube with, I did the surface area and I did the actual formula on this one. And I'm going to do it another way because for a cube, which is what they're giving us, we would essentially just take one side, find the area, and multiply it by how many sides it has. It has 6. So on here, if I just do, say, the base, it's a 1 by 1. So 1 times 1 is 1. All right. That's 1 inch squared for one of the bases. There are 6 of them. So 1 times 6 gives us 6. And now that's in cubic inches. Sorry, square inches. Square inches, not cubic. There are 6 sides, so that was the surface area for each one. So 6 inches squared for the entire surface area. For number 6, we have finding the lateral area of a right cylinder with a diameter of 8.6 yards and a height of 19.4 yards, round to the nearest 10th. So they gave us a diameter. If we're looking for the lateral area is found by doing the circumference times the height. Now, normally for circumference, I would plug in 2 pi r. However, they gave me the diameter. There was another form that we could use for diameter, and that's just diameter times pi. So we have diameter times pi times height. We have both those pieces given to us. The diameter was 8.6. The height was 19.4. So 8.6 times 19.4 gives us 166.84 pi. And then multiply by pi, so times pi gives us 524.1. And that's it. The next one, 7 through 11. On 7, all right, we have the surface area of the cylinder is 180 pi square inches, and the height is 9 inches. Find the radius. Again, surface area of a cylinder. We have our circumference times our height. We're looking for the radius, so this time I am going to use the 2 pi r in place of the circumference. They told us what the circumference, they told us what the surface area was, which was 180 pi. Plug that in. They told us that our height was 9 inches, so I'm going to plug that in. First, I can go ahead and cancel off the pi from both sides, just divide it off. I can also go ahead and simplify on the right side of my equation. 2 times 9 is 18. And then I can divide off the 18, which leaves me with 10. For my radius. We got 6. Did I copy the answer wrong? Hold on. This was page 67. We're on question number 7. They said 6 inches. Did I do something wrong? Surface area they gave us was 180 pi. The height was 9. Oh, yep, I did do something wrong. The formula I used was only for what? Was it surface area? So that formula I used was for a lateral area. I forgot to include the base. So we did need a little bit more here. So let's you have to add on here 2 times the area of the base, which is pi r squared. Oh, you know what this becomes? This becomes a quadratic. I am not asking a quadratic question on the test. I should throw that one out as well, because what we end up with is we end up with an r squared and an r value on the same side of the equation, which then becomes a quadratic, and then we have to solve using quadratic formula or quadratic equation. So let's skip that. Number 8, find the lateral area. All right, we have a regular hexagon pyramid with base edges of 10, slant height of 9. Find the lateral area, find the surface area. So first, for our hexagon, that's going to be on our bottom. There's one piece that we need that they don't give us, and that's the apothem. So you tell us the base edges are 10, which if I split that means that's 5. This triangle when drawn into my hexagon is going to be a 30, 60, 90. So if that's 30, 60, 90, this apothem is 5 radical 3. That's the long leg compared to the short leg, right? So now that we know that, our We're going to need that when we do the area of the base. The base area is found by 1/2 ASN. So the length of one side was 10. Number of sides there's 6. Multiply that out, we get, let's see, 5 times 150, radical 3. And let's see, for the lateral area formula on this one is going to be for a pyramid, 1/2 the perimeter times the slant height. Perimeter is going to be 60. Slant height, they told us, was 10. So we have 1/2 of 60 is 30. 30 times 10 is 300. Oh, no, sorry, I used the base edge. My bad. That should be 9. That should be 9. 9. So I had one too many. Sorry. Slant height was 9. So 30 times 9 is 270. All right. So we have 270 as our final answer for our lateral area, our surface area. We found our base area, so we just have to add those together. So we have 270 plus 150 times square root of 3, which I copied that wrong, I think, from the book. Let's see. Did I copy that wrong? Yes, I did. So that should be a 3, which does change my final answer. Plus 150 times the square root of 3 gives us 529.8. 529.8. All right, by the sound of it, I guess the bell's gonna ring. All right, rest of these answers, 62.8, 113.1. I will post the rest of these on Canvas. Those are the rest of the answers.